Good day. My name is Tumelo Munzhelele. I'll be giving a presentation on Adam Smith, who is referred to as the father of economics. This is in submission for my History of Economics Thought course at the University of Witwatersrand. So, biography. Adam Smith was born in June 1723. He passed away in July 1790. He was a Scottish national. So I found this interesting in his earlier life biography that he was kidnapped at the age of 4 by gypsies, and his biographer commented that he, and I quote, he could have made I fear a poor gypsy. In his professional life, so at the age of 14, Adam Smith went to the University of Glasgow, and that is where he started studying politics and philosophy and economy. Besides the stint that he had at Oxford, University of Glasgow was where he spent quite a bit of his life at, both as a student and also as a academic. So, and University of Glasgow is important because it was the place, the home of sorts for the Scottish Enlightenment Revolution thinkers there. He has a couple of interesting friendships. He was friends with Joseph Black. Those who have studied chemistry would know him from that field. James Watt. I studied engineering, so I definitely know James Watt from engineering as the guy behind steam engines, so it's quite important and fundamental. And he was also friends with the philosopher David Hume. And David Hume, for those of us again who study economics, will know him as the economist behind the price-specie flow mechanism. Adam Smith published a number of books and essays. In this presentation, I'll focus on two books that were very important to the history of economics thought. That is Moral Sentiment and the Wealth of Nation. On the theory of moral sentiment, the question that Adam Smith wanted to answer was, what is the source of the ability of human beings to form moral judgments? This was an interesting and topical question at the time at which he wrote this book. Adam Smith's answer was that inside all of us as human beings, there is an inner man who plays the role of an impartial spectator, whether that inner man would either approve or condemn our actions and the actions of those of others, with a voice that is impossible for us to disregard. And he also derived that human beings are creatures of passion, but at the same time, we have self-regulating mechanism, which is our ability to reason and also our capacity to have sympathy. This allows human beings the rational and the moral faculties to create institutions by which the struggles that we have can be mitigated against. And because of this, this works out for the good for the whole of society. And it was in this book, The Theory of Moral Sentiments, where he first introduced the words of the invisible hand. In the theory of moral sentiments, Adam Smith said that seeking men are often led by an invisible hand. Without knowing it, without intending it, advance the interest of society. And the concept of invisible hand would become very central and important in the book, The Wealth of Nations. In The Wealth of Nations, Adam Smith firstly described what he believes is the wealth of nation, which he derived that it's actually the annual production of goods and services in that nation. And this sounds obvious in modern day terms, but in his time, some of the precursors that came before Adam Smith had believed that, such as the mercantilist, had believed that the wealth of a nation is actually measured by bullion, that is money. And that was incorrect. And as his friend David Hume then showed with the price species flow mechanism, that that was indeed fallacious thinking. In the model in Wealth of Nation, Adam Smith divided the society into three classes, that is, laborers, landlords, and manufacturers. He believed that we have a regulation in the society, which is our competition. He said that competition is the arrangement by which the passionate desire for bettering one's condition is turned into a socially beneficial agency by pitting one's drive for self-betterment against another. It is the unintended outcome of this competitive struggle for self-betterment that the invisible hand regulating the economy shows itself. And it will be this invisible hand that ensures that prices of commodities are always driven down to their natural levels. And this is where he introduced an idea that is still quite important to modern day economics. That is the idea of the value of goods being equal to the cost of production of those goods and services. And he said that also from that idea, he introduced the idea that labor and capital will always move from less to more profitable occupations or areas. And the competitive mechanism constantly, therefore, restores prices to their natural level, despite any short run disturbances. And this is important in economics even today, the idea of short run and long run uh, adjustment mechanisms that happen in the economy as a result of a disturbance in the economy. And this in this book also, the idea of the visible hand then go on to explain how income is distributed amongst those three classes. So that was the contribution of Adam Smith to modern day economics. So Adam Smith had precursors to his thoughts. There were ancient and pre-classical economics. There were also the classical period that he was part of. And then there were successors to those economics, the neoclassical period, which is famous for the marginalist revolution, and the 20th century economics, which is famous for Keynesian economics. So this is how Adam Smith fits into our understanding of economics today. Thank you.